COVID-19 is obviously here to stay. And we know that the industry obviously saw the supply chain disruption. Uh, what do you see as things that have been resolved or maybe haven't been resolved? What can we look forward to that this maybe won't happen to this degree again, the supply chain disruption?
Well, I think the biggest thing that we've seen is on the food service side. Supply chain internally has been upended in the world of food service. When you look forward at NRA statistics, the National Restaurant Association, the forecast from among their members isn't very good in terms of the road ahead. And as long as we maintain a shutdown or partial shutdown status, it really hurts those more sit-down oriented type of restaurants the most, which, that's going to have a big impact, especially on the class 4 marketplace, where the fats, the creams, the butters are used in a little heavier supply. As we talk about some of this shift, though, consumers haven't stopped eating, thankfully. They still enjoy their dairy. And that said, we've seen growths in place like fluid, and we've seen growths in cheese, and that could, effectively be perpetuated. I think Nate said it well when he said that there's a lot of questions on the horizon. We don't know how this is going to shape up. There's a difference this time to the pandemic response in our economy than what we've seen in previous economic strained environments, and it's a real mystery to see how it's going to shake out. But we can definitely see disruption in food service that's not going to go away anytime quick.
The issue that we were dealing with in March, April was just an utter collapse in demand overall for dairy, or at least a short-term collapse as the restaurants burned through the inventory that they had on hand, and they weren't ordering anything nearby. And there's just nothing that you can do about that except quickly cut supply, which the industry did do. I was really impressed by how quickly dairy farmers were able to cut back on supply once the incentives, the pricing systems, the base over base systems were put into place. And so, individual companies can try to change their product mix and balance their sales between food service and retail so that they won't be hit as hard under those types of circumstances. But overall, for the industry, there's nothing you can do about a large negative shock to dairy to that magnitude except cut supply. And so I don't know if we see a drop in demand like that again, if everybody is going to be as willing to cut supply as they were the first time around. But I think that's the only good response we can have as an industry. If we have a sharp drop in demand, we need a quick, sharp drop in supply to match it.
So I do think we're more resilient today, right? We've learned a lot as we came through the shutdowns of March and April. And so could we repeat? The answer is certainly yes, given what we've been through. However, I would say maybe the probability is less. We've learned how to social distance. We've learned how to do more takeout. There's a number of things that I think have maybe given us a little more shock absorber to the just utter shutdown that we saw for a period of time. I hope that keeps us from repeating the demand destruction that both Mike and Nate talked about that certainly was at play in March or April.
Yeah, if you look around, even some of these sit-down restaurants, one of the more common things to be constructed this summer was takeout windows on the side of a restaurant building, and a lot of groups have geared up for that should they be faced with similar circumstances.